Mason. Hi, Mason. Happy Thursday.
Simple, easy, delicious comfort food. Can't go wrong. Grilled cheese and tomato soup. Yum. What's cooking? Great question. Today, I'm thinking comfort food. And when I think of comfort food, grilled cheese and tomato soup comes to mind. So today, I'm going to show you my take on homemade grilled cheese and tomato soup. Pretty classic, pretty standard American comfort food. It's also really easy to make. Tomato soup. Pan's heating. I've got a red onion. I like red onions. You can use a white onion, a yellow onion, a sweet onion. It's really your call. A clove of garlic and a can of whole tomatoes. Because summer is the time when tomatoes are really, really nice, but it's not always summer when you want this soup, right? All right, so I've used just a little less than a quarter of an onion. If I was cooking for more than just myself, I would probably use the whole onion or half an onion. It really depended. We're going to salt and pepper this to taste later. So this first step basically is just throwing in the onions and getting them kind of brown. I'm going to mince the garlic next. On a cold day, on a rainy day, on a chilly day, on a winter day, this is just good food. On a day where you're feeling homesick, like I'll do this when I'm feeling a little homesick, just because it gives me that little that feeling of home. Mason, what's your favorite comfort food? Can you find it in Japan, or do you need to make it yourself? Or do you need someone to send it to you just because you can't buy it or find it in Japan? And anybody watching, leave a comment. What's your favorite comfort food? All right, so those onions are looking really nice. They're browning. And once the garlic and the onions get really nice and flavorful and browned, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. The onions and the garlic are smelling really good now. I'm going to add just a little bit of water. We're going to let it reduce a little bit, smash it a little bit. If I didn't break my blender, I would have just cut these into chunks, thrown them in, let them brown up really nice, added the tomato soup, and then simmered it for 20 minutes, then thrown it in the blender. But we gotta do more of a home style, right? What I love about this dish is just so easy to make. And it fills you up, and for me, it's comfort food. I eat it, I'm just like, oh, it reminds me of childhood, it reminds me of the States, it makes me happy on a cloudy day, that sort of stuff. All right, so this has gotten reduced a bit, and the onions and the garlic are nice and smashed up. I'm gonna add a very small, maybe a little bit of salt, some fresh pepper. You can add more to taste after it's done. That's really easy. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of fresh ground basil. Actually, that's a good idea. Basil from my garden. Grind it up. Add it in. Give it a stir. Tomatoes. You could use diced tomatoes too. I just went with whole tomatoes today. I mean, we're going to be smashing it anyway. So now that's going to simmer for like 20 minutes. Smash it up and mash it around every so often, and then it's just waiting games. I love being in the kitchen. It's a place where I'm totally comfortable. I can create, I can bake, I can cook. It's warm, it's soothing. It's probably my favorite place in the house. A dream would actually be to have a cafe. In Hawaii would be wonderful. Maybe a little B&B. I can smell the tomatoes, some of the garlic. It's coming together really nice. It's thickening up. If it gets too thick, just add some water. I like it kind of thick. The soup is done. We're going to put together the grilled cheese. So here we have some white bread, or hotel bread as they call it. I would typically make my own sandwich bread, but today is bread making day, so it's fermenting right now. On the inside, where our cheese, which today's Gouda, is going to go, I'm going to put some butter. And I'm going to put it on the pan, and I'm going to toast it up. On the outside, the part that gets all grilled and delicious, is going to be mayonnaise. Man, I know, right? Mayonnaise, who would have thought? It adds a zing, a tang, a really nice contrast. I like to get the butter all around. Make sure you get the crust. While those are toasting, I'm going to add the mayonnaise and spread it. The thing about grilled cheese, you got to remember, you got to keep moving it. So just keep rotating the bread while it's toasting. Nice and toasted. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to add my cheese. I'm only adding cheese to one side because what I'm going to do now is take the bread from the other pan and flip it into this pan. Okay, I can smell it. It's getting really nice and toasty. I'm going to flip it. Oh yeah, that looks nice. And I'm going to cover it. And it should only take a couple minutes. Okay, it's done. Take it out of the pan. Cheese is nice and melted. It's browned on both sides. Oh yes, that's perfect. It's hot, so you want to be careful, but I'm going to give a diagonal cut. As you can see, nice and melted, browned. I'm going to plate it up and I'm going to eat. Best way to eat this is to dip it. You can eat the soup and you can eat the sandwich, but the best way is to dip it. Got your soup, got your sandwich, get a nice dip, get it in there, get it really nice and in there. Tomatoey, cheesy, a little zingy. Oh, it's so good. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna finish my lunch and you have a really nice rest of your day. That's really delicious. All right, brother. See you next week. Cool. All right. Peace.